evening. Today, I would like to talk to you all about something very near and dear to each and every one of us. It is something that weighs heavily on us and something that it will follow us for the next decade, at least. That thing is student loan debt. Have you ever wondered what exactly happened to drive up the cost of tuition to such lofty heights? Or what allowed loans to become so attainable that so many of us have fallen into scary depths of debt? The truth is rather shocking. The programs that the government implemented decades ago to allow greater access to college are actually becoming a stifling weight in our generation. Government-backed student loans have allowed and encouraged tuition prices to skyrocket, and trustly, this program needs significant cutbacks. To begin with, let's analyze how much tuition has changed over time since the inception of the aforementioned government interference. From 1980 to today, the average cost of tuition per year at public universities has increased threefold. In other words, while two-year community college costs our parents only $1,000 adjusted to 2022 inflation standards, we are now paying $3,000. Additionally, the number of students that are turning to loans has increased by a proportional amount, from 28.3 million indebted students in 2007 to 43.4 million in 2021, indicating that for more and more students, the only feasible way to go to college and attain the higher education that they need is to resort to taking out loans. So, how did this increase in tuition occur? It is a quite simple logic when one takes the time to delve into it. Let's say we have a hypothetical university which charges $1,000 per year to each of its students. Without any government interference, students will either have to save up to afford this on their own or take out a loan from the bank. The bank will make a simple risk-benefit analysis. Can this student reasonably use his or her degree to make enough money to pay us back plus interest in a timely manner? If the answer is yes, the loan will be made. In this scenario, the university is forced to maintain tuition costs relatively low, so to both be competitive with other universities and ensure that students can afford to go, and that banks are willing to grant loans for these amounts. Now, let's analyze the effect of the current programs. In this scenario, the federal government has backed student loans, meaning that if one takes out a loan for college but fails to ever pay it back, the government will cover the difference, leading to a non-risk situation for the lenders. While this has allowed many more people to go to college than before, it has also had the unintended effect of raising tuition throughout the roof. Our hypothetical university no longer needs to make sure that its tuition fees are reasonable from a lender's perspective. As long as the student is willing to enroll, the lender will provide the money. Colleges stand to gain massively from this situation, and they are more than willing to jack up their prices to unreasonable and unnecessary heights to take advantage. This can be seen by cursory research into the profit margins of college. Since the implementation of this program, they have invariably gone up. The solution to this monumental issue is not as difficult as it may seem. We all have the power to affect change by simply going to the ballots and voting for what we want to see. Additionally, we can write letters to senators and congressmen to bring attention to the issue and engage in peaceful demonstrations and protests. If we don't make the effort to improve this issue now, it will only continue to compound, leaving not only ourselves in debt, but our children as well. If we can force universities to become competitive with another, again, by limiting excessive lending, then tuition prices will certainly fall. We are all struggling with this issue as we continue our journey to college. But it doesn't need to be such a struggle. If the government will simply minimize its irresponsible enabling of excessive lending, then tuition prices will not be as high as they are today. We are the future, and it's up to us to make it a future worth living. Thank you.